The new 20s. The new 20s. The new 20s.
Hello, hey, welcome
Hey.
to season 2 of the new 20s.
2021, let's go.
Yes, it's
Season
been
one
a
of our
while.
show. Oh yeah, see, it's been so long. We're talking to each other.
I know. Things have been hectic.
Oh, let me tell you.
But I am Charles Mockler, and of course,
and I'm Caleb Studevant. You know, we're still going to figure this thing out and stop talking over each other, but
we're getting it.
I'm going to get a fancy mic. I got an Amazon credit card for Christmas. Not credit card.
Oh,
Amazon gift card.
I was like, that's a bad gift.
That is. I already have. That is a bad gift. I already have an Amazon credit card.
Okay.
I have a gift card that I'm going to buy me like a nice little mic instead of using this thing over here. So.
Oh yeah.
You know.
You should get. I use a real sketchy one that costs like $20.
Hey, mine's gonna be 35. So.
There you go.
The gift card's like 75, so I'm not gonna max out. You know.
I hate the Amazon gift card because it's like, do you need a new pair of socks or anything else in the entire world that's ever existed?
No doubt. No
doubt. But we are the new 20s. We're coming at you sporadically. 2021, talking about being in our 30s in the 2020s, which has been a nightmare for the most part, on the whole, given how crazy 2020 was. But hey, it's the new season. It's season 2. We're here to talk about just how 2020 went, kind of resolutions, how 2021 has been so far, despite only being 5 days in since we recorded this.
5 days is big, man. I mean,
it feels like it's been 2.5 weeks.
That Christmas break, that in between Christmas and Thanksgiving week is just like, all right, we got another week of the year left. So let's try to jam pack everything we were supposed to do into that 1 year, all while being mostly on vacation.
All of my higher ups were on vacation at work. So I was just like, what am I supposed to do?
I was on semi-vacation. I was in forced quarantine by my job. My mother got married, so to end out.
Hey, congrats!
Clap it up for her.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know, getting married at 60 plus is an achievement in and of itself.
Yes.
So glad she's found someone she loves, and so I'm happy for her. But I went home to Baltimore, and they told me if you go home, you're gonna miss 2 weeks of work, which effectively ended the regular season for me.
Paid or unpaid?
Paid. Oh, come on.
Oh,
I love my mother.
Good.
I love my mother, but even she would have told me to go to work.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
But yeah, and they were like, you're gonna have to sit out quarantine for 2 weeks, and I did that. 2 weeks are up as of Sunday or Monday.
Hell yeah.
So I'm gonna be going back to work. Fingers crossed.
Let's hope so.
And have a blast with it. So that ended my 2021. I mean my 2020. Sorry, I don't want to end 2021 that fast. But that ended my 2020. Christmas was cool. Chilled in the apartment. That single life is depressing around this time. So
I can see that.
But it's also kind of cool because you don't have to worry about splurging on big gifts. So it's like a catch-22.
That is, yeah. I kind of went. My end of 2020 was pretty similar. Still just working from home. Managed to get a promotion towards the end of 2020, which, hey, you know what it is.
Clap it up.
Working for. I had this crazy situation where a job offered me basically almost twice what I make now, but they were talking about how they really take COVID seriously, and then they were like, "We need you to come in for an interview." I was like, "We could also do this over video if we needed to." And they were like, "No, it's all good. We take it seriously. There's hand sanitizer." And I'm like, that was everywhere before for the most part. But I get there, and this is the first time I'd been inside a building with more than, 4 people, like stores included. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
There's like people working. Some people are in masks. Some people aren't. Windows aren't open. And I'm just like, this is weird. Like, I'm trying to process it. Interview goes good. Obviously, they tell me, like, they take their masks off from the beginning of the interview, and I was like, oh, whatever, okay, because I felt weird. Ended up getting offered the job, and I was like, do you guys do remote days? And they were like, we don't do any remote days. I was like, okay. And they're like, and you also don't have to wear a mask in the marketing department, so communication's easier. I'm like, this doesn't feel right. I end up not taking the job.
Are they in offices or like open air?
They're in offices. This is office off. Like, it was like, it's just like one big room that was like made to be like an office space.
Oh no, I meant like, is each person in their own like closed?
Hell no,
office?
Absolutely not.
And they don't take COVID seriously at all then.
No, and then I was somehow still on their email list despite not taking the job for those reasons, and I also got a promotion at my current job. I'm still on their email list. They had a COVID situation, of course. So they had to shut
Shocker.
down for 2 weeks. I'm like, well,
Shocker.
there's a bullet dodged at the end of 2020.
This place doesn't seem like they have handle their admin affairs pretty top notch. I
Not
mean,
at all. I was still
you're getting
getting
emails from the job you turned down. First of all, the fact that you got added to their email list in the first place,
immediately.
just off an interview, was just like, hey, this guy's good enough. Let's let them know what we're doing out here.
Yeah. And then they were also going to have a holiday party, but that shockingly had to be canceled with plus ones. So I was like, I'm so this like I was a little on the fence about not taking this job, but I feel pretty good about it now. So that was good. And then I actually ended the year with a pretty old man ass injury. I tweaked my knee skateboarding because I'm 31, and that's what happens when you just do regular shit now. So luckily nothing
long behind you.
Oof. Luckily, nothing was torn. I didn't have to heave myself over the fence that I had to hop into. But yeah, man, 2020 ended weird. I got that holiday sadness or whatever it is, where you're like, all right, it's the last 2 weeks. Like, what are we doing? Still inside, still hanging out. Like, I don't know, but yeah, it was nice to end on like an upswing, I guess. But do you have any resolutions for 2021? It feels weird because it doesn't feel like a new year.
Yeah, I mean, I think just because we're still in the swing of things with the pandemic, nothing's really changed. Obviously, vaccines on the horizon, it's out, people are getting it, healthcare professionals are getting it, and things of that nature. So I think things are starting to look a little more brighter for the next few months coming down the pipe.
For sure.
So yeah, 2021 still doesn't feel like it's a new year, but the date has changed. We know it's January, so everybody has set out. Well, I can't say everybody, but a lot of people have set out to do different things. I am not a part of LLC culture, where I feel like 2021 is my year to start my LLC or start my.
I'll be honest. If you didn't start your LLC in 2020, I don't know what you're even doing in 2021.
So 2020 was the year of the rest, and 2021 is the year of the work. So
wow,
yeah, that's what I've been hearing.
Oh no,
that's what I've been hearing. So
that makes my heart hurt.
You had your break. You know, you rested. You did your thing.
You chose to rest, not because there was a horrible pandemic.
My all-time favorite saying, which is complete sarcasm, is, and I'm blanking on it right now, is, God gave me I dropped it.
Is it the seventh day thing?
Where no, it's like this is just 2020 was the setback, and 2021 is like the comeback or something like that. It's a weird like I've always hated that phrase. It's just like, oh, this is just my setback from my step up or something like that. I'm like, okay, cool, sure. I mean, man. I get the motivation behind it. It just doesn't sit well with me.
But I love the motivation.
For me, 2021, I got a couple things that I want to do. I actually want to like keep the weight off this time around. Like I did so much better than I have in the past, this past fall-ish, once I get
during a hard year too.
Yeah. So I mean, I think the pandemic actually helped me because I definitely controlled my food portions and just staying in the house. I was like, I'm not doing anything. Let me just go ahead and grab a workout real quick, you know.
That's a good call.
So I think this year it'll be like, all right, I lost. So for perspective, last January to my birthday, I lost like 40 pounds, like 35.
Hey, congratulations.
So I went from like 260, hold the applause. I went from like 260. I went from like 260 in January of last year to like before my birthday, I was like 225-ish. So like 35, 40 pounds.
Light in shape.
Oh yeah. And then from there until about, no, hear me out. From like May until about now-ish, I probably gained back like 15 pounds. So it wasn't terrible. I got to like 235, 240. Yeah. So it wasn't bad. I just want to like, my goal though for my birthday was to be 215 last year. Mm-hmm. So now that I know I can lose 40 pounds in this 5-month stretch, I'm like, well, maybe I can be 200 by my birthday. And then I'll probably be in 215 because I didn't really hit my goal. So,
but that's good.
Yeah. So that's like part of my goal. I do want to like read some books, like actually be more leisure reading.
Read some books.
Yeah. I got some books. I got some books on the Amazon.
That's on mine too. Now.
Some books that I'm probably gonna knock out. Hopefully, my plan is to like knock out 1 book a month. I'm not gonna be like overzealous out here and be like, oh, I'm gonna read 2 books a month. No, I don't.
I better see an Instagram post shaming people who don't read.
Oh no, never. You'll never see me do
it. Picture you drinking coffee, reading the windowsill.
My breakfast nook.
Yeah, it's raining outside.
Yeah. But yeah, that's one of my plans. Like read a book a month. See how that goes. See how far I get. and some other personal stuff, but I'll just leave that between me and the big man upstairs.
There you go. That's what's up.
Another phrase I hate, but
I don't think, in terms of my resolutions, I want to read more just because I mean, I read so much sports stuff, which is great. I love it, but I need to read some other stuff that doesn't make me upset or makes me upset in an emotional way, which is good. You know what I mean? There's a book that I actually trying to read. It's about how they set out to make the Oxford Dictionary, which when you think about it, that thing not existing, and then just they're like, we got to make a book that has the meaning for every single word in it. It's pretty crazy. So that's kind of the nerd shit I'm on. So I want to read more. You put random acts of kindness in the notes, and I don't think I'm going to do that more this year.
So I subscribe to random acts of kindness. It's a weird thing. It's like a feeling every now and again. Like somebody will, there are people I'm not gonna like shout them out. I'm not gonna say anything. Like that's just not what I do, because that takes away from like random acts of kindness.
Of course, yeah.
But there are people who will like post something like, oh man, I would love to have one of these. And like I'll see it on their story and I'll be like, send me your address and I'll send it to you. Like now there's a price limit. There's usually like
I was like, what are they?
Or like it's nothing like hey, I want this car, and I'm like, let me know and I got you.
Yeah.
No, it'll be like random.
Send the Addy.
Yeah, people will be like, hey, I really wish I could have that. And I'm like, send me the Addy. And then some people think I'm joking. And then I'm like, if you think I'm joking, then don't send me your address. And
then I like that. That's great.
To me, like now, this isn't like, hey, send Caleb a DM.
Yo, everyone hit up King's Kid _15.
Don't do that. Your feelings will immediately. I don't subscribe, but I also don't subscribe to asking me for stuff either. Because
of course not.
Like I'll tell you no because I don't feel like doing it. So it's just whenever I feel led to do it, and I feel like, oh, this would be dope, and I like it's somebody. Typically, it's somebody I know.
That makes sense.
But I think I'll be more intentional about it. Like
that's legit.
So one of them is like, I haven't really pinned it down, but I think the 15th of every month I'll do. So I got this from my brother-in-law's little brother. His name's Kevin. Shout out Kevin. He does like Uber Eats or DoorDash trivia. So like every now and again he'll hop on Instagram and be like, riddle of the week or whatever, riddle of the month or something like that.
Yeah.
He'll post the riddle and like, if you get the riddle right, I'll pay for your DoorDash or something like that.
That's dope.
I stole that from him like a couple weeks ago. And I was like, oh, it seems like a dope idea. I'm not doing anything. And I've got like disposable income. Like every once a month I can be like, here's $20. Just send me your send me your DoorDash receipt or send me your Uber Eats receipt, and I'll just cash app you whatever it is on the receipt, tip and all. But max like $25. We're not talking like you're not about to feed like the party over here.
It's not the whole family.
Yeah, it's like you can get a sizable meal for two people for $25.
Yeah,
like you can get a
not in Los Angeles, but absolutely.
Oh, I'm sorry. I might adjust for inflation. I don't have
you got to look up what the dollar value is in each state.
My bad. Oh, speaking of that, and this is completely off topic, but did you see the video of the lady who complained about her tip? So there's a video, I just saw it earlier today and I should have sent it to you. But there's a video of a lady, she does DoorDash or Uber Eats, one of those things. And she's literally at the door. I guess, you're supposed to leave the food at the door and then walk away, and then the person comes out and get it. The person has like one of those Ring doorbells. They hit the doorbell.
Which are terrifying anyway.
It's a doorbell. And there's like a video, and the guy's like, okay, appreciate it. You can leave now. She's like, no, we need to talk. She's like, no, we need to talk. He's like, talk about what? She's like, you left me an $8 tip. He's like, okay, what do we need to talk about? She's like, that's not enough. Like literally told this guy the $8 tip's not enough. She's like, I had to drive 30 minutes or 40 minutes from here to there to get you your food, and you only left me an $8 tip. And he's like, are you serious right now? She's like pretty much like dead serious. She's like, yeah, like that's not enough. I drove 30 minutes. He's like, how am I supposed to know how far you drove? Like the place is only like 15 minutes from here. Like that's not my problem. Like, and so she's kind of pissed about it. She's like, okay, well, I'm taking the food. She takes the food and leaves with the food because he never came out to get it. So she was supposed to like drop it off.
What?
Dude, craziness.
Well, to get $8, it seems like she probably just lost a source of income.
Oh, no doubt. Like, and I'm like,
good.
I just find it hard to believe. Like, I get tipping in certain.
I used to work as a server.
Yeah.
The only times that you really have a legitimate, for me, time like beef with tipping is like if it's a large party and they're a nightmare,
Oh yeah,
they'll tip you $0 on $300, and you're just like, dog,
that's terrible.
like you're giving me nothing.
Yeah.
But like, not a good enough tip is always a weird gray area. But depending on what he ordered, $8, that seems like a pretty fair tip.
That's what I felt. I was like, $8. That's not bad for the trip over. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
that's a couple of gas. I mean, I don't know what you want out of that. But yeah,
crazy.
so sorry to get off topic there, but
no worries.
That's my random act of kindness. I want to line it up like the 15th of every month.
That's great.
I'll hop on Instagram. I don't know what part of the day I'll do it. It'll be random. That's the part.
Don't do it at night because people will be smoking weed and drinking beers and be like, shit, I guess I'll get some Postmates and on Caleb.
As long as you answer the riddle correctly. I mean,
I love that it's a riddle. I love that it's not a question. I love that you're parsing this as it's going to be riddles. Like you have 3 keys.
Yeah, it's going to be something stupid. Like it's not going to be a super hard riddle. I'm like, hup, no winners tonight, guys. Got to go. Like,
yeah.
That's terrible. It'll be something fun, quirky. I don't know. Probably like I'll find a riddle book somewhere and like go deep into it. Like, oh, riddle 730.
That's a good call. Yeah, don't look it up online because people will just Google your riddle.
I hate when people Google like don't cheat the game just for a free chicken or something like that. Like, it's not worth it. Like,
now that we're talking about
random
acts of kindness, I actually did that more in 2020. I think a lot of people felt more charitable. Especially people of the Caucasian persuasion as myself, where you're like, look, I can't do a whole lot right now, but I can give money to some organizations I know are doing good. I mean that sincerely. Like I really had no idea what to do.
The term is called white guilt, but continue.
Yeah, for sure. It's white guilt, 100%. And you should have some white guilt. If you don't have white guilt, hey, hit me in the DMs and let me know why you don't. You're probably blocked because you got some weird stuff going on. But I did that more. I also I did this thing where I follow a bunch of random like meme pages on Instagram or whatever. And like when I say random, I mean ones that have like less than like 10,000 followers. So it's run by like an actual human being. And sometimes they're like, hey, this person, we need funeral expenses. Like this happened, whatever. I donated to those. I just be like, here's whatever. Here's like the GoFundMe. So, I take back what I said. I probably will do that the same rate that I did last year, but last year was like 150% increase lifetime in terms of charitable giving. So if I can keep that trend, I think that's pretty solid. Because a bunch of people needed help and stuff. Like it was just crazy.
And I guess speaking of help, since we're here, might as well jump into the best part of the day or of my day yesterday. That's Stimmy. That Stimmy hit.
Oh, that Stimmy. My Stimmy was gone in 48 hours.
I mean, so here's the weird flex that I get. I'm like, all right.
We got to do Stimmy flex, and then I have to talk about, because this was the thing. I've already done more adult stuff 5 days into 2021, like monumentally, monumentum than my whole 30 other years combined.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy to think about. But so
it doesn't feel good.
The Stimmy flex is like, it's 2 of them. It's like they both go in opposite directions. One is the hey, I got 2 kids, so I got $1,800 Stimmy flex. Where I'm like, you still have 2 kids, and that $1,800
still have 2 kids. It's gone.
Not The other one is on the flip side of that is I don't qualify for a stimulus. That's not my problem. That's broke people problems. And I'm like, hey, like because you make too much money. I'm like, okay, then that's why you're lonely. Okay, nobody wants to hear it. But so it's like a double-edged sword. Like I'm just happy that there are people out there who needed it and got something. Obviously it's not what everybody wanted or expected at first with what people were saying. Hopefully, the powers that be after today, things will shift with what's going on in Georgia. One can only hope. One can only hope. Hopefully by the end of the night, maybe into tomorrow morning, we'll find out. But politics aside, what did you do with your $600 upswing? That was your money to be in with anyway, but that's neither here nor there.
So this goes into the adult part. So the last stimulus check was $1,200, and I had a job at the time, so I think I bought like some Dolphins gear and like maybe a new pair of joggers and like we had some others. I don't want to talk about it, Caleb. I
almost committed suicide after that Raiders game. Just so everybody knows.
Chan Gailey needs to be fucking fired. Anyway, with the $600 one, I bought a credenza, which, if you're listening to this podcast, you're like me, and you didn't know the difference between a credenza and an entertainment center, a credenza is just more expensive.
Or if you were like me when Chuck told me yesterday that he bought a credenza and you had to Google credenza mid conversation,
it's a fun word to say. Mostly
I was highly
I could.
embarrassed. I was like, credenza, what's that?
So
And I
I had
I
to
thought
buy
it
a
was a car.
credenza.
It's like,
No, a $600 car, that would be my style.
that was a down payment, you know, I don't know.
Yeah. So I had to buy that because my girlfriend works in production. Shout out to Hannah. And she's like, I'm broke as hell right now. Well, we need this credenza. And I was like, hey, I got the new job. Part of having the new job was being excited to buy stuff for the house. You know what it is. And yes, all of this money was from the government, not from my job, but the money from my job made it possible so I could feel comfortable making this purchase. So instead of getting 3 pairs of shoes or another pair of joggers, I bought a credenza from a local spot that's been in Echo Park for like 30 years. This is a dude who makes fantastic furniture. It's a steal for what we got. So I'm very excited about that. So that was like one of the more adult moves I did. The other adult move I did is my sister gave me $250 for Christmas because her and her husband were like, we don't know what you want. You're like at this weird age where you're kind of like, could use it for fun stuff, might use it for stuff he needs.
PlayStation 5, just give me that.
I tried. But so instead I had a pair of shoes queued up that would have wiped out that gift plus a couple other bucks. I wanted the tie-dye ray gun dunks.
Okay.
I love the original ray guns, but I don't have $5,000, so I can't buy them. But I had it queued up, and I was like, "Oh hell yeah! Like let's get it. This is great." I'm standing in the bathroom. I got it queued up. I'm about to brush my teeth, and I was like, I looked at my toothbrush, and I was like, I've had the same Sonicare for 15 years, and like literally in that moment was like, I'm gonna hate this right now. But I spent like, a new toothbrush, like $120. Like, and I also have teeth issues. Like, this isn't me being weird. Like, all my teeth are fake. I need to take care of these things. Like, so I bought a toothbrush and with the other money, just like put it away and was like I felt good about it, but I didn't feel happy about it, if that makes sense.
So like, for those of you who don't know, this is not in the notes at all. I had no clue he was gonna go toothbrush on me. Like,
I went toothbrush because I was like, I didn't get a $200 toothbrush. I didn't get that.
So everybody knows, Chuck said I bought like adult stuff with money or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. I had no clue. He traded sneakers for a new Sonicare or whatever the type of toothbrush he got.
It's like a Philips Sonicare or whatever it is. It's a nice toothbrush.
Oh, yeah.
I got to take care of these fake teeth.
Hey, I'm not mad at you. It just was not what I was expecting. I was like, hey, he brought some furniture. I was thinking like maybe you brought like some stocks. I don't know. Like, I don't know what you were like adult purchases, but did not see toothbrush coming.
New toothbrush, bro. That's how it is. My sister was disappointed also. She was like, I thought you were going to get shoes. I was like, I need a new toothbrush. She was like, well, that's good.
So how much was this toothbrush?
Toothbrush was like $130.
Wow.
When's the last time you bought a new toothbrush?
I mean, I bought like the Oral-B, like off the $6, $8, $12 one.
You gotta love yourself in 2021, Caleb. You gotta buy a nice toothbrush.
Really? Is that a thing?
Yes.
Okay. I mean,
they're great. They make your teeth look good.
I got the STEMI, so let's see what we got here.
You can also spend as much or as little as you want on a toothbrush. You don't have to get a $200 one, but you can still get like a nice like Sonicare for like $60-$70. I also, again, because of my tooth stuff, probably feel way stronger about this. Because if you've never had dental issues, it's not really that big a deal.
I need to actually go to the dentist. My wisdom teeth on the opposite side are coming. It doesn't hurt. So like when I 25-ish, when I lived in Chicago, whatever year that was, I went to the dentist, had my wisdom teeth on one side pulled, and he was like, he showed me the x-rays. He was like, you have them down here, and it's like a 50-50 shot where they grow out and readjust your teeth or whatever, or we can go in and get them and pull them out. You don't have to worry about it. And this one I wasn't making as much as I'm making now, and the guy showed me like how much it would cost me. I was like, hey, let's just do the ones that you can see. I don't really care.
Hell yeah, no, bro. Well, dentistry is a whole racket in and of itself.
So they did that, and I was like, all right, cool. And now 5-6 years later, one of them is starting to like crown or whatever it's called, peak, grow out of the gums. So
time
for me to go in and Find a black dentist in Cleveland. I'm gonna go ahead and try that.
That sounds like a joke. That sounds like the lead up to a joke. Like,
What?
so there's a black dentist in Cleveland. It sounds like.
No, I like the same way you like went to a local small business dentist.
Neighborhood spot.
Yeah,
I'm a first wave gentrifier in my neighborhood, which means that I don't make a lot of money, but I make enough that I also live in a building that didn't have its rent raised for whatever reason, which is tight. So I feel a little better about it. But like, I'm of the class of people who like made enough money that you can move into the neighborhood right when they start to try and make it nice. And then in 4 years won't be able to afford it. That's the same pattern that's happened in every place we lived in Los Angeles. So I had to keep mine local. I was like, I have to keep all this local for a place that's been here for 25 years or whatever.
Got you.
But yeah, that's how my 2021 has started. How is your 2020? We've been 5 days. Political stuff still seems like a nightmare, I think.
We'll see. I mean, things are turning. I mean, everybody's obviously waiting for January 20th or the 26th, whatever day it is.
I think it's the 20th.
Yeah, so we'll see how that pans out. I mean, obviously there's a bunch of weird reports. I don't get into all that stuff. But obviously there's a big runoff election in Georgia right now for a couple Senate seats, I believe, or Congress seats. Don't quote me on
a couple of seats. Just say seats and it covers you.
Okay, appreciate it. Yeah, I'll know for next time. We'll take that out in post.
Oh, you've been your New Year's resolution was to use that phrase.
But yeah, I mean, for me, it's been great. The city of Cleveland is on edge right now. It's on high praise and they're having a great time because the Browns are in the playoffs. I know Chuck doesn't want to talk about his Fins, and we're not going to go there, but the Browns are in the playoffs. The city has a slight buzz. I mean, people aren't outside, so you can't really get the full buzz that I know that's probably in people's houses right now, but that's been great. The first time they've been in the playoffs in 18 years, which is nuts to even say out loud.
Congrats to the city of Cleveland. You're going to get smoked in the first round.
The hate is unreal. But hey, hopefully not. We'll see. We'll be in Pittsburgh on Sunday, and it'll be a fun time. So that's been the kickoff of my 2021. What else has happened in 2021? I don't know. 5 days in, nothing too crazy.
I'm back in the basketball swing of things, which is great. Basketball fandom basketball fandom is as horrible as it's ever been, I would say. 5 days in.
Yeah, I mean, that's because everybody's like super critical.
It's based on Twitter. It's because I read it on Twitter too. Your choice. Yeah. I read it. Someone told me that they read something, which is how I get all my information. Someone reads it and then talks to me about it. That Twitter is designed to elicit negative reactions on purpose.
No doubt.
Because it's so much easier to say a negative thing in 200 whatever characters than say a positive thing. So it's literally built so you can critique things. And because every giant national media outlet is like, sports are on Twitter, this is great. Only 10% of the population uses goddamn Twitter.
Yeah.
But ESPN everything now just needs to be on Twitter. Like they need their stuff to be like, so you have people talk about how Steph Curry needs to solidify his legacy, or like Shaq posting a photoshopped image of him dunking on Rudy Gobert. And you're like, what are we doing?
Like I would have had Rudy Gobert would have fouled out.
And he's like, I'm just playing. And it's like, dude, no one even slanders Shaq. That's the thing is like, I can't go down this. I'm trying to start 2021 I'm not saying positive.
Shaq feels like
he's insecure.
He's not far and away the number one center.
He's absolutely not.
But he feels like he should be. Like he clearly, in my opinion, and we're not going to go down here. In my opinion, he's the most dominant basketball player to ever play the game. Dominant.
Fine. Yeah.
All-around center to ever play the game? Probably not. I mean, I wasn't around to see Bill Russell play, so I can't really be like, oh, it's Bill Russell and everybody else. Like
that's the biggest issue with these arguments that I have. Is when people are like, yeah, but Kareem, and you're like, they didn't play in the same era. But we don't know.
But that's why Shaq jumps on, and he's like, he kind of starts these like pseudo arguments. He'll like post if this starting five versus this starting five with me and LeBron and Jordan versus Iverson and
like that's fun.
Like I think he does it for fun, and then obviously
like that's so absurd.
But it elicits like a response from people who are like, no way, Iverson's pound for pound the better player, and blah blah. And I'm like, this is what it does. People like kind of like sets the bomb and then walk away and watch.
Yeah, and there's no listening.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is like when you're arguing with someone on Twitter, you can't type out, that's a really good point. I never thought of it like this, but
Yeah.
how about this idea? You can't do that. You have to respond with a gif of like a clown putting on makeup or whatever. And like it's awful, dude. I'm thinking about, I wish I could do like a Twitter. I wish we could just delete our show's Twitter for the Locked On Clippers pod, but we like can't because there's
Yeah.
enough followers. Like it would actually be shitty. So
And that's the other part of it. It's like a necessary evil for so many people too. It's like, yeah, does it, like the news now, like post tweets, like it'll be like,
yes.
hey, like, and they count that as reporting now, where it's like, okay, guys, like, yeah, we know, like, this guy tweeted during the game or something, like, oh, we this is what we call reporting. Like, everybody has a Twitter, like we can scroll Twitter if we want to, like,
Yeah.
but that's part of their game. They know, like, grandparents who watch ESPN aren't watching Twitter, aren't on Twitter scrolling. They're just like, oh, I heard LeBron James said this. Yeah, you heard through them reposting his Twitter from like
Yeah.
8 hours ago, and it is what it is. But
It's like those, you know what I hope goes away in 2021? TV shows that recap what happened on the internet.
So yes and no.
Who's watching those shows?
Here's why. I used to watch Ridiculousness.
That's different. That's a viral video thing. Like that, like some like funny videos, like dude, that's America's Funniest Home Videos, but just updated.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, so what do you mean then?
Like the shows where it's people like, this happened on the internet today, or like this person said this on an article on this.com, and you're like, well, who is this? What is this show for?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like, why do we need this?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, but I probably don't watch those shows anyway for that reason.
For sure. What do you hope comes into 21 from 2020? What do you hope carries over?
Ooh, that's good. Remote days.
Yes, for everybody.
I've literally heard so many people say that their job has increased production.
Mine has.
Because people, you're one of them. There's been a couple people. And sorry, just got a text message.
This guy, whoa, you got some stocks going on over there.
No, it wasn't that. It was some other stuff. But so remote days, because I've heard so many people have gone to like their production has gone up from people being at home, which blows my mind. I mean, I don't know how that correlates.
Have you worked in an office?
I have, kind of, sort of. It's been a while. It's been a while. And so I can see, but I just like, I feel like people being at home, how do you get, now I get it. The only thing I get about people being at home is I feel like the workday in a sense has kind of expanded. So like before you would be 9 to 5, 9 to 4, and at 4 o'clock you're done. I know a lot of people who now are like, I log in at 7 or 8 o'clock when I wake up, and I probably do a little bit of work, and I take a little bit of a break in the middle of the day, but then I still work to like 4 or 5, maybe sometimes still 6 because I'm in the house.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my thing. Is
so like the job might end up with a couple more maybe hours out of you, maybe from a clock standpoint.
Like maybe if you were at work,
if you were at work,
nightmare.
Yeah, if you're at work from 7 to 6 or 7, like
you're a rancher, like
But if you're like logging in and you do 20 minutes, an hour worth of work at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then you hop off and you watch a TV show for 45 minutes, and you hop back on for 2 or 3 hours, and you hop off and you take like longer breaks in the middle of the day, but you're still like getting more work done instead of taking like 5-minute breaks. You're checking your phone. You're not really focused on it. I get that. So I think remote days, just from a personal standpoint too, like sometimes you don't feel like driving in the office. Like,
well, dude, and like remote days, it saves the company money for not having to have as much. Like, dude, they closed our offices here. Our offices, I don't have like a real office to like even like go back to really. So we're just like all remote now. But no, man, the remote days thing, that might be the only thing I want to come from 2020 back into 2021 is remote days. Because I mean, what you just said is exactly, you wake up, everyone has a productivity charge usually in the morning. After you get ready, you're like, all right, let's hit it. Like, I'm ready to get 2 hours of work done. And then you'll probably hit a wall when you need to get some food. And then thankfully you're not in an office where you have to eat like office snacks, which slowly kill you. You can like make some food at your house. Yeah, no, same, man. I discovered that I loved pop chips because of my office, and I feel like a sheep because of it.
I will say the upside of working in the football complex and the downside is food is readily available. It's like It is, but it's not. You're like, oh, what am I gonna like? There's breakfast, lunch, and dinner if you stay late enough for dinner, and then there's snacks usually around. We're not supposed to take the snacks because they're for players only. But I'm there 8-10 hours a day. I'm definitely gonna snack on something.
Yeah, that's legit.
So, but yeah,
so like it just does it helps. And like that thing, like dude, I've done stuff like if you're an hourly employee, I can see it sucking because I just got turned to salary. And so like now if I don't, you know me, now like if I don't do any work from like 2 to 4, I don't feel as bad when like 6 hits and I'm like, oh, I caught a little bit of inspiration. Like I'll knock out an hour and a half of work right now. Who cares?
right.
Yeah, remote days. There's a bunch of stuff with rethinking work that I hope comes into 2021.
Yeah. Zoom meetings are cool and all, but let's limit those.
Yeah, we don't have to do those all the time.
Some of them can just be emails like they used to be. We don't all have to jump in and see each other's face.
Yeah.
So that's dope.
That's a good call.
What else? There was something else. I do like what Kev on Stage has done with his Keep Your Distance comedy specials. So he pretty much created like comedy shows like you would at a comedy club, but obviously made them virtual and sold them and made a ton of money off of it. Like, from a business standpoint, genius idea. Good job by him.
Hope he started an LLC.
Mm-hmm. He's got like an app now. It's crazy. Like I'll probably talk about it later. Like we can talk about another comedy piece, but he's pretty much turned comedies like stand-ups, 2-hour-long stand-ups, like with 4 or 5 people on it, or 6 people or whatever, and you watch it online it's open for 2 days, and once it's done, it's gone.
That's cool.
And now
that's a really good idea.
He's also kind of like spun it into like a comic view kind of version of it, where he'll take like 5 minutes of the best people or whoever he wants or something
up
like
and comers.
That.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, here's a 30-minute episode of which you missed 2 hours of the other day.
That's dope.
So yeah, I like the live version of it just because I'm a fan of stand-up and I like to see a whole thing. But I'm not knocking the comic view style of it either. But just from a person who enjoys stand-up who can't always get to a comedy show, or that guy's not coming to your town. I'm in Cleveland. I don't know how many people make it to Cleveland all the time, but
yeah.
I wish the virtual concerts were cool for a little bit.
I haven't been to one of those.
I did one. It was cool. I don't think I would do too many more.
Who'd you see?
It was early.
Versus is something that I hope continues in 2021.
Yes, Versus. But it was, I forget. It was like when it first happened. I don't even remember who it was.
That's tight though.
It might have been like a gospel artist.
There was some good entertainment stuff, like the Versus, like that stuff was good.
Versus, Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr., which was the heavy component of season 1.
A heavy component. We also thought that I didn't want to talk about
the new 20s. That's what we got to bring into 2021. I mean, that's what we.
That's very true. Yeah, we do need to bring in the new 20s.
Taking a nap. So that spawned out of 2020. Shout out.
What happened to the Harriet Tubman 20s?
Trump got in office. Okay.
Really? I genuinely I was like, dude, that makes hella sense. Like, I'm not gonna argue with that. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a good call. Yeah, I don't know what else was really in 2021. All our followers, shout out to the followers of the new 20s.
You were 100% right. Trump administration says no plans to expedite Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. God damn it. I was like, this seems right. Like, that's the headline when you search Harriet Tubman 20s.
It only made sense. Like, I just felt like, what else could it have been?
That's a good call.
I don't know.
There's not a lot that I want to come back.
Yeah. I mean, there were some cool things.
Cheap flights.
Clubhouse.
I haven't been on Clubhouse yet. I need to get on Clubhouse. An invitation.
I've got invitations on.
What is it?
It is the best of times. It's the worst of times. It is, you pretty much get in a room full of people. It's like Zoom, but without faces. And it's just random people. Like it's
a party line. This sounds like a party line.
Pretty much. But they're like, each room has a
not everyone old enough to know what a party line is who's listening.
Oh God, don't. Why'd you do that? But it's essentially you hop on and there's like moderators. So there's like 4 or 5 people maybe it's one person, or however they set it up, who control the room, and they pretty much try to keep people on task for what the title or what the conversation is supposed to be about. So you hop into a room and the conversation could be, "Hey, did you watch the Redskins?
The who?
Oh, sorry, the Washington football team versus Philly or whatever."
You
And they have
yeah.
they have a whole discussion about a game or something, and then the conversation turns into, "Well, I think Joe Theismann is the best quarterback ever," or "I think whoever." Like it just kind of rambles on
Turns into
sometimes.
garbage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes it can, and then other times it's just people who will network. People like, "Hey, I do this. Is anybody interested in such and such?" Or let me know my information in my profile. I'm looking for XYZ. I'm looking for, like, there's employment like groups where, like, "Hey, we're looking for jobs in tech," or there'll be people who work in entertainment who will say, like, "Hey, I do this in entertainment. We're just trying to, if anybody needs tips, ask any questions." Pretty much like AMA.
That's cool.
It's like sometimes some of them will set up like AMA. If anybody knows what AMA is on like
Yeah,
Reddit,
yeah.
ask me anything. So that's, and then there are other groups where people just yell at each other and they talk about who's your top 5 favorite artists or whatever, and they just go back and forth.
Shaquille O'Neal, obviously.
My favorite though, and judge me if you want to, my
Okay.
favorite that I've not been on, but I've been in the room for is it's called Shoot Your Shot for 30 and up.
Oh,
It's so bad.
I'm
It's
on
so
board. I'm on board for whatever hecticness this might bring into your
it's
life.
so cringeworthy sometimes, because all they do is they like find somebody in the audience. So it's like this raise your hand button, like, and the moderator sees when you raise your hand, and they'll like call on you, and they'll give you access to speak pretty much. And the person will say, "Hey, I've been looking at," and all it is people looking at profile pictures on Clubhouse, and then they'll like go to your
So it's like
bio.
Tinder without the I don't want to say pressure, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
how
there's
is
more
it?
pressure on this one. So like you go
Oh,
in,
okay.
there's way more pressure on this one because you get openly rejected in the room. Like,
Oh shit. I didn't even think about that. Of people like, "Hey, how you doing?" They're like, "Pass."
essentially that's what
Like,
it is. So like the person will get on there and they're like, "Hey, I'm so and so," and they're like, "Okay, did you see anybody in the room you want to talk to or you want to shoot your shot at?" And they go, "Okay, so I saw this person, that person, and this person. Tell them they can hit me up in my DMs, or they can, talk to me here or something."
this sounds like
So
I'm tense
it
just
oh, it's
listening
great.
about this.
It's so cringeworthy, but it's so entertaining at the same time. And so the person will call and they'll be like, "Hey, I see him. We'll let them talk if they want to talk to you." And in this group with 300 or 400 people, they're like, "Hey, I think you're cute, or I think you're attractive, blah blah blah. What do you do?" Blah, and they're like pretty much have like a mini speed date. That's pretty much, it's like a mini speed date.
Okay.
And then the moderator be like, "Okay, you guys are kind of hitting it off. If you want to have this conversation offline, hit her up in her DMs, and you guys can talk about it or whatever." And I'm like, "Wow, okay, cool."
This makes my
Um,
chest hurt, dude. Like
oh,
this what this is middle school dances when everyone was on eat when boys and girls were like standing over here, somewhere here, and then like the one kid goes in the middle and is like, "Hey, you want to dance?" And the girl's like,
but
"No."
everybody's an adult, so it's like
It's worse.
girls will get up there, and it's great because the girls actually see, like, will get up there and be like, "Hey, I want to talk to him, blah blah blah," and they'll
And they're
say,
like, "Nah."
and the guy will be like, "I respectfully decline, like I'm already talking to somebody else or something," or like.
Queen, I am sorry.
And I literally the other day, this one girl, she said, "Hey, I'm interested in him, and him." All 3 guys were like, "I respectfully decline," and I was
I
just like,
can't,
I
bro.
was like,
You got to
I
send these
was
people
like,
Postmates. These are the people you need to be like, "Hey, next when
oh.
you order the shame pizza, I got you."
I said that, I was like, everybody has been rejected via text message, via phone call, or like just approach somebody in the
It's been a while that people have
mall.
been rejected in person.
Not just in person, but like in front of 500 people that you don't even know.
That's how many people are in there?
It got up to like 500 people the other day.
Look, I'm going on the record saying I might have to join this just so I can watch. Hannah, if you're listening, which you're probably not, nothing crazy is going to happen, but I might have to go help Caleb out.
No, so here's the thing. I haven't that group, and I'm not saying it's like explicitly for Black people, but like the groups that I've seen, it's like a weird kind of vibe based off of like who you are and like what your interests are and like who you follow. So like you don't see
So
all the groups.
yeah.
So you see like the groups that are like
I will say the only people
whatever
I've seen posting about Clubhouse are Black people.
whatever the algorithm is, I think it like keeps whatever you're interested in and whoever you follow in the same kind of groups and loops. Like you can
Yeah.
search and you can like I'm like 5 days in or like maybe like a weekend. So I don't know all the ins and outs of Clubhouse. So if anybody is on Clubhouse and knows more about it, feel free to, comment on the YouTube or on our Instagram.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Give him some help. I don't know what he needs.
I don't need help. I'm just here for entertainment. Like I don't
Okay, for sure.
I just jump in the group and I listen. But some of them are actually like entertaining. One was like a close group of friends that I had. I don't say close group of friends, but it was like 2 or 3 friends started a group. But I didn't know like maybe the other 10 or 15 people in that group. And we had like a cool discussion about random stuff that like movies or whatever. And you got to kind of follow new people and, gauge interest of other people. And then you kind of, I don't say, not like I created new friends off of it or anything, but like,
yeah,
it's kind of cool to have like a random conversation with random people you don't know. And you all just kind of laugh and joke about the same.
That is cool. It's like gaming with someone who you like don't know. And you're like, oh, this person ends up being pretty chill.
Yeah. So that's one of the cool things, but I am in that group. I'm not in that group. I joined that whatever talk or whatever they call it. I still haven't gotten the lingo down just for the sheer entertainment.
That's so funny.
And I keep my fingers crossed that nobody ever calls my name, because I'm like, if somebody calls my name and say they're attracted to me, I'll be like, you're lying. Get off of here.
Wow, I didn't realize it was just the liar room at the Clubhouse.
Oh, that's the other part. Like guys will get up there, and like one guy got up there and he really he didn't sell himself at all. They were like, what do you say?
Like, are people like, what's
pretty
up?
much
I'm Caleb. I work for so-and-so. This is what I do.
Pretty much it. And I was like, hey, I'm not, I don't have any kids.
You can't
I'm
see me, but I'm beautiful.
You see a picture and then they tell you like, in order to talk, you have to have your Instagram and your Twitter, or maybe I think it's just your Instagram, linked to your profile. So then people can go to your profile, search your picture, see what you look like, get a better picture of who you are. Right. Now, surprise, surprise, if you know anything about me and how my Instagram's set up, January 1, that bad boy gets wiped out.
Yeah. So, yeah. People are like, oh, this guy's a serial killer.
Yeah. So all you see is my profile picture, which is accurate, obviously.
Yeah.
And maybe if you go on my profile is open. So if you go, you can watch my stories. And it's not like I'm not like the
watching my stories.
Yeah. You can watch my stories. I post random stuff on my stories, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But yeah. If you're not on Clubhouse, I'll send you an invite. If I know how to send one, and for sure. It's been great.
Yeah, I'm trying to get on there. I'm trying to see people being down bad. Oh, that just reminded me of something that I think is funny that 2021 is bringing in. Do you remember when, like, do you remember like that site Text from Last Night?
I remember. I think.
Or like today I fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, so remember how they made like
or whatever.
Yeah, and they made like books out of like clearly fake texts, like that, like, oh, I got this text from my dad and it said this, and it's like a dumbass text or something. So they like made books or like about like with those texts in it and sold it at Urban Outfitters to like our parents and stuff who thought that was funny. It's just coming back again. There's this new Twitter account called like Dudes Who Were Down Bad, and it's just like basketball Twitter is also very close to incel Twitter, so I see a lot of this lame shit. But like it shows like, oh, this guy tried to shoot a shot with a girl and he got denied. And then they post like a picture of like J.R. Smith being sad or whatever. I hope that goes away because I'm tired of fake weird texts becoming like book. Like it's just such weird entertainment to me. And it also reinforces some pretty weird stuff about how men and women can't really be friends. But that's a whole other issue.
You've already been invited, Chuck, to Clubhouse.
I have?
I'll send you a reminder.
Who invited me?
I don't know. Hey, did you get my Clubhouse invite? Did I just send you an invite? And then it says already invited on my end.
Is it one word? I ask as an old man.
What, Clubhouse? Yeah, it's one word.
Yeah. I'm not seeing it, man. All right, I'm gonna dive into this later.
I'll hit send reminder. I don't know how that works, but
hey, did you get my Clubhouse invite?
I don't remember sending you one before. I haven't.
Oh, we in. Oh, we're here.
Oh, pending invites. Oh, so I guess I did send you one. Whatever. We'll figure it out after.
Hell yeah, I want to install this Apple. I'm about to catch me on Clubhouse every day. Roasting people. I don't even know what you do.
You just like make groups or whatever, and you like start conversations, and then people just jump into your conversation if they follow you. It's weird, it's random, and it's
so that's something from 2020 is weird social apps. I kind of like them. I kind of like that this stuff is like we've seen more growth out of Facebook because Facebook used to be the only one, right? And then it was Instagram.
Yeah.
And now we've seen more growth in things like this where it's like, I just want audio or like stuff
Right.
like that. So
I
I
think
guess
people
that's
got
good.
fed up with the Zooms and like Zoom calling.
I was fed up like
and like
2
you gotta
weeks
be
into it.
semi-presentable and everything. And this, you can just literally hop in a room. If you like the conversation, you can talk about random stuff and then you can jump out and nobody really. That's the thing. Nobody cares. Like you could just jump out the room and like nobody's like, oh, this person left. He's a jerk. Like no, he's just like.
This is the first thing I saw. It says, "Welcome to Clubhouse. Caleb is your friend," and it just has a picture of you.
Nice. That's one picture.
This is insane. Yeah, like the Zoom stuff. Man, I think my family and I only did Zooms on like major holidays.
Oh, my fam, we didn't do too much Zoom. We did like one or two or whatever.
Yeah,
but it wasn't anything crazy. We always had FaceTime anyway. Like, so
yeah. My family's not big on like doing that, like the FaceTime thing. Like I'll do it with my sister sometimes when I'm just like walking out just to see what's up.
I will say like the
But-
first month or two of quarantine, we did way too many like family group checks, and I was just like, all right, guys, I've been gone for a long time.
Well, because the weird part was quarantine was kind of fun in the beginning. In
Yeah.
March, when it was like, we got to stay home and we're going to nip this in the bud. And then it quickly unraveled into a hellscape that we live in now.
We'll be done by Easter.
Yeah, I remember, I'll never forget, my friends and I started out playing like Madden on quarantine. We're like, hey, I guess we got like a weekly Madden hang now. Like, let's get it. And then that was in March. And then like, and then December hit and we got on again. And I was like, is it funny and depressing that we're just back where we started? My friend was like, in like April, my friend was like, oh yeah, man, your birthday, which is in August. He's like, yeah, that'll be tight. The first wave will be done by then. And I remember being like, it's not going to be. And we didn't do anything.
That's bad.
Psyched we got the vaccine in 2020.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
You
that's
gonna get it?
Are we gonna talk about it? Yeah. No, I'm not getting it. I have no plans on getting it.
That's legit.
So I'm not. So I mean, let me put this in perspective. I'm not one of those.
Yeah, I'm not.
Like,
Yeah.
anti-vaxxers who's like vaccines are the devil and it causes autism and all that. No,
Yeah.
that's not me. Like, yeah, take your vaccines for the measles, the mumps, rubella, all that
I was
stuff.
gonna say, don't forget rubella, bro. I don't even know what rubella is, but I've been
Nobody
afraid of
knows.
it. I've been afraid of it since I was like 7.
But that's what vaccines have done. It's wiped them out. It's wiped
That's
out.
true.
So like, and even the chickenpox, I didn't know the chickenpox was gone. They had a vaccine for that like 4 or 5 years ago when my niece and my nephews didn't get it. I was like, they don't have the chickenpox anymore. I was like, no, it came out.
That's
like
crazy.
90s. And I was like, nobody gave it to me in the 90s because I definitely had chickenpox when I was a kid. But
Clubhouse profile pic is about to be sick, by the
oh
way.
my God. So yeah, I don't want to take it because there's no long-term results or data based off of symptoms or side effects or anything like that. Like the same way COVID is, like there's no long-term, like nobody knows how long, like if COVID's in your system for a year, is that going to have like a long-term effect in the next 2 years? Like,
Right, for sure.
so like at the same time, while I've been blessed enough not to have contracted COVID, I've got 175 probably negative tests.
Yeah,
that
you've gotten truly more tests than anyone I know, which I think makes
daily
sense.
tests. But so I've been blessed in that regard. At the same time, I would not want to take a vaccine that I don't have similar data on. So for me, I'm just like,
That's fair.
I'm like, hey, you guys get it, knock it out. I know I don't have it because I'm tested every day, so we're good there.
Yeah, like I'm fine.
And also at the end of the day, like I'm also not a jerk. Like I know if I know I'm not going to take the vaccine, I'm still going to wear my mask until we know it's like.
Oh, the mask for me is not leaving until like, I don't know, man. I think the mask is chilling.
Yeah. Like
and I'm fine with that.
I mean, that's probably what we'll take into 2021 as well. It's like masks to the end of the year. Like I don't see.
Yes, please.
It's like I'm all for a social distance. You know, I'm an introvert. We're good with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, okay.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
the
so yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it.
And are you technically a frontline worker?
I would never call myself a frontline worker.
Well, I know you wouldn't, but like production stuff here is in LA is frontline, technically.
No, because we're not like reporting anything. We're just
No, that makes sense. I just didn't know because some places are weird about it.
I would never consider myself a frontline worker.
I tell everyone that I know that I have a podcast with a frontline worker. So everyone.
I hope it's Locked On Clips and not this one.
No, it's this one.
Yeah, no.
I think the vaccine for me, I'm like,
If anybody walks up to me and says thank you for your service, I'll punch you in the face. Like no
your
shot.
stolen valor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think after I was so sick in August, which I think just might have been COVID. I know I had 5 negative tests, but a lot of the doctors were like, this seems like COVID.
I think so. What I've learned is that you probably would have tested positive for it had you tested pre your symptoms, which sounds.
But I did. Like I had tests before
you got symptoms.
Yeah, like I had like 2 pre.
Like how for? Like how before? Like was it like a couple of days before, or like a week or so before?
It might have been like a week or so.
Yeah. So like what I've learned and what I've seen firsthand from people who've tested positive, they won't get symptoms until 2 or 3 days later.
Okay.
And then they'll start testing negative. Like even with symptoms, they can test negative. They'll be like, I'm still dealing with symptoms from COVID, even though I've been tested negative for the last week or 2.
Yeah.
So like you could have tested positive for like 3 days before you started getting serious symptoms, and still
because there was a gap, so I might have had it.
Yeah,
but Hannah didn't get it.
Yeah,
which doesn't make any sense because we tried to quarantine in the house. We live in a 1-bedroom apartment, and Hannah was like, "This is stupid. I'm just gonna sleep in the bed. If you have COVID, I'm gonna get it anyway." I was like, "Great, I'm sweating in my sleep, but your call." So like vaccine wise, I kind of hope I'm like the last to get it because like I limit myself. I don't need it. I don't mean that in some weird hubris way, but I just for what it is, I don't think I need it. Yeah, vaccines freak me out, man. Not like in the like they don't cause autism. That shit's not true at all. Yeah. Just in the like putting something in your body from the government way. I don't like that.
And that's the other part of it. Like so,
especially this government.
For me, like I see the flu shot come out every single year, and it's based off of a different strain or is effective or not effective, and it's 70%. And I'm like, if this is going to be like the flu shot and you take it every year, you guys go ahead and take it for the first 3 or 4 years. Let me know how it goes, and then maybe I'll get in line and start taking it like the flu shot. But I don't think it's a one-stop shop at this point. Like maybe it is, maybe it's not. We're not 100% sure yet. So for me,
because I know you have to get it twice. Like there was a really fucked up headline that was like, this nurse got the COVID vaccine and she still got it. And it was like, if you get it the second time, you're 93% fine. So just chill.
She got it like in between her 2 shots or something like that.
Yeah. And it's like,
or the nurse passed out like minutes after getting the test on national TV. That was nuts.
That's not good press.
That scared me. Legit scared me. Like, because when that went around, I was like, wait, what? She passed out? I was like, that's fake. That didn't happen. They were like, no, it happened on national TV while she was talking about taking the COVID shot. I was like, no, I need to see I literally watched the video and saw her like, I'm just feeling a little dizzy right now. And then you read later, like she has like this, not narcolepsy, but like some kind of fainting issue that she's had for years. If you know this
just happened to come up.
Here's my thing. If you know this lady has had fainting issues for years, why is she the spokesperson? I'm not gonna let the person who passes out at any random time in front of the microphone.
That's a good call. This is not going to happen.
Whether we're talking about COVID, whether we're talking about heart disease, whether we're talking about lung cancer, whatever the case may be, I don't care if you're a medical professional. You get up there and you pass out. How bad does this look? So that's just bad, poor planning. Whoever their PR person needs to be fired immediately. I don't typically call for people's jobs, but I feel like that was a bad move.
And I'm honestly surprised the vaccine hasn't made people go crazier. It's because all those dipshit politicians who were like, I'll never take a vaccine, were taking pictures with their running hats on and their t-shirts getting the vaccines. Like
Mike Pence first in line, like,
it's me. Yep. I don't even have sleeves. I wore the shirt specifically for the shot. Like
I got a haircut just for this photo op.
That's what's so funny to me is like all these people who don't want to take the vaccine for political reasons, all these people who told them to not take the vaccine for political reasons got the damn vaccine.
They're lining up.
They don't care about you.
Like, oh, this was just to get the vote. Like we were just trying to split the vote, if you didn't know, by the way. That's the craziest part about it. Like that's one thing I hope we don't take into 2020 or into 2021 or to any other year. Where we start like playing with people's lives for political purposes.
That's never going away, bro.
But like at the health level though,
that'll never go away.
Like what? But at the health level, like we're talking. Like,
I agree with you, but
like I get like gun control or
It's cash, man.
Something like that. But like, we're talking lives.
You know, they figured out that like the opioid epidemic can literally be traced back to like one part of Florida, a certain county that prescribed like thousands of times more opiates than any other place. That's literally, they can trace it back. So like, because there's so much money, especially in pharmaceuticals, that's never going away, I don't think.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not a real big fan of the whole opioid crisis all of a sudden. I mean,
yeah, but like that's because it's white people who got it, and now white people are like, opioids are crazy. It's like they've been horrible the whole time. But I just mean like that, like the money thing. Like if people who are in control of these companies are who they are, that's what we're gonna get. Like, which is really shitty.
I mean, it just sucks.
I hope it gets better, and that's the thing with like the new administration, right? Like we hope, cross our fingers, that some steps are taken.
Yeah, but we'll see. We got 10 more days, 15 more days. This guy should be in the out of office, and the next guy's in. One
after
old
the other guy's forcibly removed. He said that. That's a quote.
There's no way.
It wouldn't take much force either.
Have you seen pictures of him? Like, they've had side profiles of him golfing, and I mean, the guy looks a lot larger.
He's a beast
than we thought he was.
But he's not in shape large.
No.
He's out of shape large. So him, I'm like, dude, you just got to get him off balance. He gets on his back, he can't get back up. Like, you get him on the ground, where's he gonna go?
Hey man, he's the president for the next 20 days, or 15 days. So
I love that he's just not doing shit. Like his thing is like, I got senioritis, I'm done. These people hate me.
He's coasting. He literally, like, the whole stimulus thing, and we never really talk about politics. So this is your first time.
This is
like a political podcast. It just was.
Well, the thing about the issue that we really need to talk about is
just the funniest part of it all. It's just like, hey, Republicans are like, nah, we're gonna leave you like a $500 stimulus or $600 stimulus, and like Democrats are like, it should be more. Trump's just like, you guys fight it out. Then it comes out to an agreed upon $500, $600. Trump goes, I think it should be more, guys. And it's just like, kaboom! Psych.
Yeah, like, peace.
Like, I let you guys argue. I let the Democrats look dumb by agreeing to the $600. And then I just completely flipped it on everybody. And, it's just like watching the world burn as you're not going to be a part of it anymore is a weird flex to me. So,
yes, absolutely. Anything else we want to talk about heading into 2021?
No more simp culture. No more weird flexes.
Oh my God. No more simp culture. What is this?
No more weird flexes.
Yeah.
LLC culture is not going anywhere. I don't think that's going
LLC culture is so funny. We should have someone on here who really fucks with LLC culture, but has never done anything.
2021, the year of the guest on the guest on the new 20s. Let's
That'd be dope.
That just came out of nowhere.
I'm super down, because the thing that sucks with like LLC culture people is if they're successful, you're like, oh, you're just a very smart businessman, you did everything the right way. And people who like LLC culture who aren't are like, did you see that guy on Twitter who was like, tax hack, start an LLC in your name, put all your expenses into that, and then you don't get taxed? And it's like, that literally is just tax fraud, bro. Like, people have thought of this.
Yeah, or you get a small personal loan of $1 million and you can just start your business that way.
Very true.
That's always my favorite quote. Small personal loan of $1 million, and from there I was able to build my industry,
my empire. I just bought a property that had a house on it, and then I rented it out, and I live with my grandmother.
I don't know. Just be kind. Take that into 2021. I think. We were talking about random acts of kindness earlier, so I think that's definitely something everybody should start to kind of think about. We lost way too many people due to COVID. One person is too many, but 200,000 is way too many. Yeah. So if you lost someone, we're sincerely praying for you. Grief is dangerous around the holidays, especially going into a new year. So
and these holidays.
Oh yeah. So just check in on people. Do your due diligence. Even your strong friends, even the person who checks in on everybody needs to be checked in on every now and again. So
hit them up.
One thing I used to do all the time, and we can be done after this, is everybody always, I think everybody does. It's like, you think about somebody, you go, oh, I'm gonna hit that person up later. And you completely forget to hit them up.
For sure.
And a month, maybe weeks go by, whatever the case may be, whoever the person is to you, like, I said I was going to hit them up and I didn't. And you go, I'm gonna hit them up later. And you still get around
You
and never
still
do
don't.
it.
Yeah.
And so one thing I'm doing is like the minute you think about somebody or you think about something or random, just like either shoot off a text, say, hey man, thinking about you. Like even if it's weird, like I think it's probably a little weird because people don't do it, but like, or you hit it, like put it in your reminders in your phone, like in a note or something like, hey, call this person. So like I have like a weekly call list where I'm like, hey, just these are people in your, like, I won't say weekly because I don't like talking on the phone that much. I'll say like every.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I don't want people to get their hopes up. Like, oh, Caleb will call me every week. Not gonna happen.
We're getting a weekly call from Caleb. This is great.
No shot. Or like, just a text me, like, hey, you good? Yeah, I'm good. All right, just checking in on you. Like just something random like that, just so everything's squashed. Now, not saying don't be the guy who's like, oh, I just checked on you. Hopefully you say everything's good, and if something's wrong, you're like, I'm not the guy for this.
Yeah.
Like, don't be.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
man, that's crazy. Haha.
Right, no doubt. Like obviously you got to be ready for what you're about to ask. So like just be mindful of that. But just checking on people. It's not the end 100%. Of the world.
Speaking of checking in on people, real quick, what dating room on Clubhouse are you part of? Because I'm about to join it.
So it's not really I don't know what it's called. Like it just shows up as like somebody is in. This thing has started or something like that.
All right. Well, let me know when you go in because I'm trying to watch.
Yeah,
not in a freak way.
So you can ping people apparently. So I'll like ping you, however that works.
This is great. All right. Well, we'll get all this Clubhouse shit sorted out later. Thank you all for listening to the new 20s. We're back.
No
Theoretically, things will probably pick up once football season stops. It's probably going to be about 6 or 7 days for the Browns. I don't even hate the Browns.
That's one thing I don't get, and we keep saying we're gonna be done, but like people, I get it. You're gonna be a fan of your team to the day you die. I'm not telling you to disrespect or leave the
100%.
team you're a fan of. But if you have a friend, a family member, or somebody who's associated with another team, albeit a rival or not, you should still support that friend or family member.
I only get texts from family about the Clippers or the Dolphins when they lose.
Oh, that's bad.
I never get nice stuff. I never get nice shit.
So like for me, it's like, okay, cool. Like my family's all going to be Ravens fans. I'm not saying you have to give up being a Ravens fan. But if I'm playing the Steelers or if I'm playing the Dolphins or the Texans or whoever we're playing that week, don't be like, oh man, I saw the Browns lost. Ha ha ha. Like that sucks for you guys. Like, it's my livelihood on the line. Like, don't be.
That's what I'm saying too, dude. Like, I need the Clippers to be good, or I don't make any money because we're not a very popular team, even in our own city.
Right. So, like, support your friend. Like, I have friends on other teams, and there'd be days where I'm like, I kind of don't want them to win, like from a team aspect. But
you're not rubbing it in.
Yeah, but if my friend's on the other team, I'm like, oh man, I hope they win, just because that's my friend. I support him. Like, I'm not associated with that team, but that's
called growth, Caleb. You're being a grown
adult. I feel like
I've
always been like that. Maybe.
I don't have to do any growing. I came out of the womb grown.
But no, appreciate you guys for listening. Support your friends at all costs. As long as they're doing right, don't support.
I was like, maybe not all costs.
Yeah, I cleaned that up pretty fast.
But yeah, you can find our link tree. We got an Instagram at the new 20s. You can follow Caleb on Twitter and on Instagram at Kingskid_15.
Yes, sir.
Postmates on deck. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Charles Mockler. I might send some Postmates depending, if you get roasted in the clubhouse and you get denied publicly, I'll buy you your Postmates.
You heard it here first. Chuck is buying Postmates with his white guilt and his extra income.
Yep. So, well, you got to wait a couple weeks because I got the credenza and the toothbrush. So.
But no, appreciate you guys for listening. When this episode drops, probably be a couple days, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Today is January the 5th. This keeps me honest right here when I say the date. So it'll keep me honest to produce this and push it back out. Appreciate you guys for listening again. I'm Caleb. He's Chuck.
Yeah.
Peace.